check, and happy Valentine's Day.
How did I know you were going there? How did I know? We left with talking about that last time, and then you just picked right back up. I knew you were going to go there.
Is for the way you look
sometimes
at me. Sometimes.
I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. It's the biggest holiday of the year.
Is it?
No. Fun fact about me is that I've been single for so long, like literally so long. Had a couple boyfriends in college, but nobody ever wanted to like really commit, you know? And why? I don't know.
Before we continue,
I should have had therapy today before I recorded this. Anyways, beside the point. But I was notorious, like this is OG Instagram, back when Instagram was casual and like, you know, it wasn't a fake.
Yeah.
I would do an all day Instagram story just talking about. Well, basically, it started my junior year of college where I had a crush on someone in my class. So I kind of documented my day of, I'm going to ask him if he wants to go to dinner tonight. All leading up to, as I'm leaving class, about to do it on my phone, obviously.
Yeah.
I overhear this guy, his name was Andy, ask my girlfriend, now one of my closest friends, Ryan, to dinner. And of course, I think my phone fell in the ocean conveniently a few months later. So like, I have none of this. Like, this is before Instagram archived anything.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that material anymore.
Man, that would have been epic.
It was, but people loved it. So I just kept up the shtick until about, I don't know, 2 years ago. And then I was like, I feel like at that point, so many people from the public have followed me on Instagram that I just felt like it wasn't as, close friends anymore. But I was known for my, like every year people would literally be like, I still follow you waiting for this day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I might bring it back this year because I have Friday off or today off. And I might just, document my day.
Nice. Well, it's nice to know people actually came back and continued to look for it.
Yeah, well, it's so funny because I think all the time, like, how big I could have gotten on TikTok.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
But back then, TikToking was literally, like, the dances.
Oh, for sure.
And now TikTok is, like, everyone's vlog. But then that's also where I draw the line because I'm like, A, I don't think people care about anyone's life or mine that much. But B,
never say never.
I don't want strangers knowing that much about me.
Well, true, but
outside of what I share on this very public podcast and my very public front-facing job.
I was gonna say it took not 30 seconds for you to go into Valentine's Day diatribe here. Welcome.
I'm choking on my water.
I was gonna ask exactly where we're going. You remember what show we're doing here, right? Like.
Yeah. Anyways, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yeah.
L is for the way you look at me.
Yes.
O.
Yeah, you know what love backwards is, right?
Evil.
Yes, it is. I didn't think you would like say it like that though. It's quite the reminder.
Love can turn evil. I also saw a quote that is, love is not how somebody feels about you, it's what you're willing to do for someone else.
Yeah, I'd agree with that somewhat. There's a sacrifice.
Yeah. Well, it's like
not but a
measurement
sacrifice.
of love is like what you're willing to do for someone.
Yeah, that's very true.
Not how someone feels about you.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it.
I know.
If you want it to go right.
All our girlfriends, we were just literally sitting and kikiing about their boyfriends. All of my friends have boyfriends, as you know. I'm the only single one of the friend group.
But that's not a bad thing, though.
It is not a bad thing. Yeah. I love the life I live.
Absolutely.
However, but the reason I do is because sometimes I hear like just these stories. I'm like, oh my gosh, the things I could solve. Sometimes I just want to be in a relationship to see if I can solve it.
Just want to be that fly on the wall. Like, no, don't do that. Do this.
Yeah, like just see if all these things that I've like worked on myself and like have like really tried and learned over the years seeing my friends in relationships and if I could like really crack the code of.
True.
Oh, okay. So I it's a good thing I've been single all this time. I learned so much.
You do move on quick though. I think we talked about that before though.
Yeah.
Like you're not putting up with a lot. So
no,
or anything. I shouldn't say a lot. Anything.
No. Especially when it comes to showing interest, which is a big reason why I haven't been in a relationship. Is like the minute that the interest is gone, I'm like, bye. Not my interest. The minute they stop showing interest.
Sure. Yeah. It's got to be reciprocal.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on.
Yeah.
Reciprocity.
Yeah, anyways, happy Valentine's Day. All right, enough about my love life, which is fine. I love the life I live. Like I said, me, my 100 plants, and my job, and my gym.
We made it a solid like 5-ish minutes on that, so that's a pretty good open. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was 5 isn't bad.
That's pretty solid.
All right. Should I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode? Please skip to 6 minutes and 35 seconds to get to the meat of this podcast.
No. It's entertainment.
Okay.
For some.
Well,
A life lesson for others.
happy Valentine's Day to you and your wife and your babies.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And don't forget to sing the Valentine's Day song, which I sang on the last episode. I'm not going to sing it again.
Okay.
You remember it?
Of course.
Okay.
You don't want me to sing. I don't sing. Like, my voice, come on, we don't do that. No.
I've heard you sing so many times.
No.
Remember that time I put up the karaoke at my desk and you were like, I said, what song you want? And it was some crazy T-Pain song I'd never heard before.
A crazy one?
Well, I guess it wasn't that crazy, but you started singing it and you sounded just like him.
Oh, that's kind of scary. That's not good.
I know, because the only T-Pain songs I know are like not work appropriate. But this one was nice. It was like a romantic one, or maybe it was a Common song I'm thinking of. I don't know.
No, it was a T-Pain song, but it was definitely one in which it's like a very emotional one. So, you know.
Well, you sang it great.
Yeah. Thanks. I don't know if that's a good thing though.
Now there's a mic conveniently right in front of you.
Oh wow! Look at that thing. It doesn't have auto-tune.
Yeah, he was kind of the king of auto-tune.
Yeah, we don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear my voice as it is. You really want me to sing?
First of all, we have an average of 30 downloads an episode, so at least 30 people may hear your voice.
Have you dissected the seconds in which they listen? And
no, we gotta get the numbers up too, by the way. Shout out to our loyal listeners, but jeez Louise.
Had quite a spike recently, I will say. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
keep it going. Keep it going.
I think the more people share, like, for example, Tay, having people who are local on and then they share it, that is definitely helpful. So,
for sure.
If you like it, share it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, just don't stop listening. It's really quite simple. You just hit pause and put on something else.
There you go. Quietly go away. No need to talk to us.
Or send us emails.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. Just let us hear the goodness. That's all. Yeah, positivity.
Positivity only. Okay, well, enough about us. Winter sports season wrapping up. We have we have snow and ice at the moment, so who knows when anything is going to end on time. But
guess another 6 weeks, like the groundhog ones, right?
Ew, yeah. And also, I read something horrible about that groundhog. Oh, it was AI. Never mind. I saw it too. It was a TikTok, and it was of the groundhog doing something like stealing or something from a gas station, but it was AI. So, anyways.
Yes, thank goodness that was AI.
My brain is absolutely mush. I actually have started putting my phone, I think I told you, on black and white at a certain time at 3.
Yeah.
So I'm not like getting that dopamine hit from the colors.
Good.
It lasts about an hour, and then I go to do something, and I'm like, I actually do need this in color.
Yeah, I can only do that for so long. I can do the dark mode thing, like, just or like on the apps, but other than that, no, I need a little color.
I need the stimulation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm already don't have the greatest eyes, but as you mentioned,
no, I think that has something to do with it because I too am pretty blind, so I think that's part of it. But anyway, so winter sports wrapping up. We got basketball wrapping up in a couple weeks. Well, at least high school basketball. Shoot.
Yeah, college is getting through it too. I mean,
I was looking at their schedule. The girls have 5 games. I can't imagine the men have much more. 5 games left of the regular season.
It's hard. Man, it really is the middle of February.
It's flown by.
My goodness.
Flown by. And this is the shortest month of the year, thank God. Because
scary.
February's like...
Oh.
Well, because I love sun, and I am a sun goddess. I keep a chair in the back of the news car, so if it's a 60-degree day and the sun's shining, I'm setting that thing up.
Jeff, that's why it's there.
Yeah, by the way. I think like the February is a tough month. January is a tough month because once you get through the fun and the cool of December and football season, I'm over it. I'm like, bring on the sun.
Yeah, I agree.
Bring on the sun.
It's kind of like looking at trees outside. They're just
sad.
Yeah, there's nothing on them. It's just whatever.
It's gross. Today was so gross. Gray, gloomy.
Yeah. And we have these late snows. It's terrible.
Which isn't even honestly the latest, because I remember in college, it dumped snow in April. I remember we went on spring break.
Yeah.
And then got back the following week, and it was dumped 6 inches.
Yeah, which is not cool. After January, I'm done with snow.
Yeah. No, I'm cool with it in January. February, too late. This week, too late. Whatever. Anyway, so we'll see if basketball wraps up on time. And then, of course, we have wrestling.
Yes. Wrestling, as some say.
Yeah, we did a girls wrestling story a couple weeks ago with a Cave Spring wrestler named Mary Smith, who went viral for a TikTok of her basically takedowns of these boys.
Yeah. She was a beast.
Who we just found out SZA shared on her story or something, the video, which is crazy. Cool. Shout out Mary. So we wanted to bring on another girls high school wrestler. So that's where Serenity's stepmom sent me an email with a bunch of girl wrestlers in our area who had just won placed, in their region tournament.
Yep.
So Serenity got first in her weight class in the region tournament. And I was like, podcast guest? Because girls wrestling, honestly, I thought there would be a little more discrepancy in the rules and the system, but doesn't seem like there is.
It's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's a matter of just simply getting out there and getting to it, getting it done. And as we mentioned, I just love the fact that it has grown so much in our area. I feel like our little pocket of the state did a very good job of really taking this on early before it became officially sanctioned, to have so many girls already not only interested but out there kind of kicking butt too,
doing it. Yeah, we had a lot of first place finishers in that list that she sent me. It's cool. I mean, I love it. I remember you did that story on the Stanton River team that had 20 girls at the time when it first became a sanctioned sport. And
absolutely,
last year we were kind of in a bit of a adjustment period, so we didn't really Tech women were also still dominating. This was pre-drama, the dramatics of this, how the season ended.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad that Serenity was able to come on and share some of her knowledge, and it's just so refreshing when we get high schoolers in here and they are just so well spoken and so nice and just genuinely good kids, which I feel like a lot of the kids that we cover are like that, but not many we get to do these long form actually have conversations with them.
It's super quick most of the time. Hey, how you doing?
Right,
cool.
2 sentences.
Yeah, see you in a couple weeks. Yay.
Yeah. But no, Serenity was so generous with her time today and broke down girls wrestling. So before I get on another tangent about something that doesn't matter, let's get to our main event. This is Serenity Shearer, Lord Botetourt girls wrestler. Welcome back to Foul Check. We are joined today with Lord Botetourt Jr., Serenity Shearer.
Yeah.
Serenity, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and talk about women's wrestling and get the word about the sport out more.
Yeah, we're so excited. Your name came across my desk from your stepmom, who sent me an email about a bunch of winners in the all-region tournament, or down in Abingdon, which was regions, right?
It's pretty much regions. It's our state qualifier. They don't really have a name for it exactly, I think. It's more of a zone qualifier, but it's regions, to sum it up.
Awesome. And where you won, you got first place in your weight class, correct?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. And Lord Botetourt right down the road, there was a Radford girl as well. We did a story on Mary Smith from Cave Spring, who got second in her weight class. So a lot of our local girls went down there and qualified for states. Before we get into the nitty gritty of how all of that works, let's start with girls wrestling. It's a newly sanctioned sport in the VHSL, just 2 years old, which you did that story a couple years ago. So when you were a freshman, it was a sanctioned sport, correct?
So when I was an 8th grader.
Okay.
So last year I was a freshman, and then recently I've reclassified to be a junior. So
okay, genius, right?
I guess
You got to be smart to do that, people.
Yeah. So when it first became sanctioned, I was in 8th grade and I had heard about it. And I heard that one of the James River girls had gone. And it kind of piqued my interest of seeing that this sport right before I go into high school is starting to grow a little bit more, especially because it had been my first year wrestling in 8th grade.
When I talked to Mary a couple weeks ago, she had an extensive martial arts background. Yeah. Did you do anything like that, or did you just, see wrestling and, wanted to put your foot in there?
I mean, in like 3rd and 4th grade, I had done jiu-jitsu and taekwondo. I don't think I had really picked up on it. And after that, I had stopped. I think the main reason I got into it was, first of all, it helped get my aggression out. It helped me become, I think, a calmer person. Right. And then also seeing, one year, the year before 7th grade, I got to open a yearbook and see that there were, I think, 1 or 2 girls there. I have no clue. I don't really know who they are, but I don't know if they were managers or if they were wrestlers. But in my head, I thought I saw them as wrestlers. I'm like, I didn't know that was open for girls to do, and I think that piqued my interest a little bit as well.
Wow.
It's one of those sports that it's been great to see take off, especially on the girls' side, because we automatically think, wrestling, it's aggressive boys just going in there doing their thing. How have you been received since you've taken to the mats, and how's that process kind of gone? Because I remember talking to some of the girls at Stanton River a couple years ago. It was like, wait, I cheer in the fall, but I wrestle in the spring. But folks in school are like, wait, you do what? So how's that process been for you in terms of being received from others in the school?
Like my teammates and classmates?
Sure.
I think at first it took a while for some teammates to get adjusted with it. I think in my first year, I don't think some of my teammates had respected me as much. But going into my freshman year, there was a lot more respect, especially towards me and then the other 2 girls who had joined. And I think that's also through our team captain, who really helped with that and was really inclusive. And that was great. And then this year they've been great. Like even like some of the kids who just come up freshman year who were like kind of not who didn't see me like eye to eye just because I was a female. Sure. Seeing them change and seeing them actually respect me and just see me as a wrestler as they see, I think that really helps. And I think even in school, like, I think I've gained more confidence around people because of it. Because I think before I wrestled, like school, I wasn't as confident, like talking to people or speaking up. But I think through wrestling, I've become more confident, become more like able to talk to people.
Yeah, because I would imagine at first it's not easy, right? Because folks do give you that look. They're like, you do what now? Wait, how? Like, is that possible? But again, to see it grow like that is just unbelievable, especially here in our little area. Like over the 2 to 3 years, it really has taken off. So it's super great.
It certainly has. I'm just thinking about when my brother played football, Coach Harless would always say, you should come lift weights with us. Come lift weights. I'm like, no, the only girl in there lifting weights with all this, that sounds like a nightmare. So it does take a lot of confidence to do that and go into a room where you are one of 2, 3 girls and assert yourself. And like you said, be seen as a wrestler, not be seen as a female, be seen as a wrestler. And that's really cool. I think what a lot of people don't fully realize about as the sport grows, you are having to wrestle boys in a lot of these tournaments. Just speak on that and how Mary said that wrestling boys has kind of made her a little more physically stronger, more aggressive. Would you agree? And how does that kind of differ from wrestling other girls?
I mean, I think I do agree with that. Up until this year, I had wrestled mainly guys. My first year wrestling, I had wrestled 1 girl, and the rest had been guys. And then my second year, I had wrestled a handful of girls, but most of the tournaments I was wrestling guys. And then at some of the meets, I was wrestling guys. But if there was a girl at those meets and we had gone to 1 girls tournaments besides states, if we were close on weight, we'd get matched together and I'd get to wrestle them. And then this year, I've only wrestled 1 guy, which I think shows the amount of growth because we were able to find ways to get us to more of these girls tournaments, which is harder as the tournaments are a lot farther away. But I mean, even in practice, I do wrestle guys. I wrestle anywhere between the guys who weigh about 150 to the guys who weigh about 190 pounds. Oh, wow. And I think that has helped me a lot in my weight class of getting used to like this heavier weight on me and these stronger guys.
What would you say is the biggest difference? Is it strength? Is it speed? When you're wrestling it within your weight class?
Yeah. I think in my weight class, if I think of just off of my team, definitely speed more than anything. The guy in my weight, he is very fast and he's very strong too. But I think it's mainly his speed that really makes it more apparent of the guy and girl difference.
Interesting.
You tend to stay in one weight class in terms of when you wrestle, or do you perhaps go to one for one meet and go to another one the other meet? How's that typically work for you?
I stay in the 145 weight class.
Okay.
Last year and this year, that has been my weight class. The year before, I think I wrestled 8th grade year, I wrestled 150, I think 152.
Nice.
But yeah, I kind of stayed in that 145 range.
I'll ask, just to be, I guess, kind of politically correct here. Is it okay to ask a female wrestler what their weight class is? Because, as a gentleman, we typically don't ask.
Never talk about.
No, we don't typically go there. So is that politically correct to ask what weight class you typically are in?
I mean, I take no offense to it. I understand it's a sport. It's a weight-based sport.
Sure.
When it comes to it, and having anybody ask, I don't take offense to it. Most girls I know don't take offense to it and will bring up their weight classes.
Okay, yeah.
Just to show, like, this is my weight. Like, I don't have an issue showing, like, this is how much I weigh. So I don't have an issue with it. Most girls I've met, I haven't met a single girl who has an issue with somebody asking about how much they weigh or what weight class they have that wrestles.
Nice.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a little bit of a flex too. It's like,
yeah. This is how strong I am.
Yeah. I wouldn't want no parts. I'm good.
Yeah, Eric, you could last.
I wouldn't last.
I
at all.
definitely couldn't. I went in that wrestling room at Cave Spring, and it was literally probably 200,000 degrees, which might be an exaggeration, but I had done my hair for the story, and my hair was just done for by the end. It was so hot. Wrestling is not for the weak. It is not for the weak, which I'm sure you know.
Or Eric Johnson. So, no.
You could do it.
No, it's okay. Just tell me, okay.
Next story, we have Eric come to a wrestling practice. And
I will be the referee.
Okay, period. Serenity, we really want to talk about what is the difference rules-wise, if there are any, in wrestling, boys wrestling and girls wrestling. Are there certain things that differ when you go to that all-girls tournament, and things that you have to tweak a little bit?
I mean, the rules pretty much stay the same. They're the same between guys and girls. It also varies on the kind of wrestling. If it's a freestyle tournament, those rules are completely different compared to a folk style. But right now, it is folk style, and the point system all counts the same. I think it's different based off of girls. Their bodies are a little bit different. Like, they're a lot more flexible, and their legs are a little bit stronger, which you've got to be more aware of that. Compared to guys, which I think they all have all-around strength, and they're not as flexible, so that can come into your advantage or disadvantage because they're also not used to wrestling as flexible opponents. Because my arms are like my teammates' least favorite thing, my arms and my shoulders, because it makes it harder to get a takedown on me, especially if I get, or not a takedown, but get a reversal on me, or get a pin on me because of how my arms bend. It just makes it a little bit more difficult. But like in those girls tournaments, you just got to be more aware of certain things like that, how you're similar. So even though this is going to be more challenging for a guy, the girls are aware of it and they're more used to it.
That's interesting. I never would have thought about it. Is that just because you have more range of motion and you can keep your shoulders up longer or move, just more flexibility?
I think I have a little bit more flexibility and range of motion. I'm also double jointed in my shoulders. I've seen a lot more girls with that. I haven't seen any guys, but I've wrestled at least 2 other girls who it's very apparent that they're double jointed, and like their shoulders and stuff. But like just overall, I think even if they're not, they're just a lot more flexible, like just overall.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Not the double jointed shoulders. Yeah. Talk about trying to get a pin on somebody like that. That's crazy.
No.
My goodness.
Yeah, that just makes it even harder.
Right.
I can see why they wouldn't want to practice or go against you now.
Yeah, golly.
That's quite the little advantage there. No. It was something I was thinking in terms of on the boys' side there. In terms of a pin or the way to win.
Yeah.
Any of that differ for you guys, or is that the same for you girls?
It's the exact same. Yeah.
Same.
What is the difference? You were saying folk style and freestyle.
So folk style has, I think, in my opinion, a little bit more rules. You can't lock hands, but if you're on top of somebody and they're on bottom. The back points are different, and then the amount of points to tech fall someone is different. And I'm not super well, like, I don't know a lot about freestyle. I only know some stuff about freestyle. But like tech falls, you only have to get 15 points ahead of somebody. And folk styles and freestyle, you have to get 10 points ahead of somebody. And then the back point rule, like if you turn their back 90 degrees or more, you get 2 points. And if you do that, and you can do it over and over again, you don't have to like show your hands, is what I've gotten from it. And then takedowns, if you get taken down straight on your back, I think that's a 5-point takedown, as if you get taken down straight on your back in folk style, you just get the regular 3 points. So it just varies on the rules.
Okay, we don't see very many, like a sanctioned high school tournament is folk style, right?
It's folk style.
Okay.
It gets more into freestyle. Right now it seems like to me, more into the spring and summer. That's when it's
off season.
more, unless it's college. And I think college, it's just freestyles, because that's what girls in college do. They do freestyle, and then guys will do folk style.
Wow.
Oh,
Didn't even realize that.
That makes sense because the assistant coach at Cave, she wrestled at Ferrum, and she was telling me how the biggest adjustment for her coaching was going from that freestyle verbiage and rules to folk style. I didn't realize that. I wonder why that is. Do you know why that is, that the switch happens just like that in college? I'm
not quite sure. And I'm not 100% sure if the guys will just wrestle folk style, if they wrestle freestyle as well. But I know that they do wrestle at folk style in college.
In terms of the point system, you sound that sounds correct. Yeah, with the takedowns especially.
Wow.
And like, so one thing is, I've heard that New York will have their girls. Their girls are a freestyle sanctions area, from what I remember being told. So it's easier for, I think, those girls to go into from like those freestyle tournaments for states right into colleges, as I think sanctioned, like here it's folk style, it's going to be unless you train it like religiously off season, that it's going to be, I think, a little bit different going into that college level.
For sure.
Speaking of which, preparation, can you prepare for an opponent? Like, do you know ahead of time, or how far in advance do you know if you're going to wrestle against a girl or against a guy?
I mean, it just depends. It depends how soon the brackets are released, because sometimes the brackets will be released day of, sometimes they'll be released a couple weeks ahead of time. Wow. It just varies. But a biggest thing is like just finding some of these opponents' matches. If they've gone against a teammate, watch those videos against your teammate. Or if you have a friend from a different school who also wrestles, and that friend has wrestled against them, be like, do you have any tips? Like, what have they tried to do? Like, what do you remember from the match? And then sometimes they'll send you the video. I think that just happened recently, where I had who I knew, a girl, and she had wrestled an opponent. And so I was like, do you remember anything from this opponent? And she was like, yeah. And then she also sent me the video from it. So it's just pretty much, it's watching how your opponent, or who you think you're going to wrestle, or just someone in your weight class overall, how they wrestle against other people, and just basing it off of that. Because if you see, they only hit throws, you know how to look out for a throw, or what they like to do from bottom or top, so you can be more aware of that and watch out for that in your match. Wow.
Was that part intimidating at first? Like, having to ask this other wrestler, hey, how did you approach that? Or was it like hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you first? Or just straight to it, hey, what are you doing
in the DMs?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I mean, that wrestler, I've wrestled her before. I wrestled at Lady Louisa. She is so sweet, and I think at these couple of tournaments, we definitely see like each other as wrestlers, but we're also very supportive of each other. Nice. At regionals, I got to watch her wrestle to go ahead and play for qualifying. I think she was trying to get to that match where she would wrestle for fourth or third, and it was great watching her, and I was cheering her on. I was so happy when she won that match, and then just watching her wrestle all these other girls. And then after the tournament at Lady Louisa, once we wrestled, she was so happy for me that I won. And then even like I was so happy for her. She's just such a nice person. She had no problem with it. And I think it's like those relationships that you build. Because when at another tournament I'd been at in Godwin, I think the Godwin Classic, that was called, I'd wrestled this girl and I had beat her, but I had saw her later on and we were just talking, and her coach came up and he's like, I love this, because when you see guys, sometimes they're not as friendly and they'll be very angry or mean after matches.
Oh yeah, not having none of that, right?
And there's such a difference, because the girls are like able to talk and get along and communicate afterwards, because I think they all want to be there for a reason of just seeing the sport grow, and so it just builds a really good community.
That is
I
awesome.
like that.
That's
I like
a perfect
that. Yeah.
explanation. I was literally thinking, I mean, in terms of my job, I'm one of the few girls, but of the few, we're homies because we're all just we're here for a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
There's no use in being competitive. I mean, in a mean way.
Yeah.
It's all love. I mean, that's the point. We're just trying to grow the sport, and that's awesome. What a great, I was literally thinking that the
I'm
wrestling
so sorry.
matches I've covered.
I didn't mean to take your question. I'm sorry.
That wasn't my question. No, when she was answering, I was thinking about how a lot of the times you just see these boys walk off and they're mad and girls get mad too. But like you said, you can at least talk about it and communicate afterwards. And on the tendencies part, what you're talking about with opponents, that's what Scott Fike told us from Stanton River, is that a lot of the scouting, so to speak, is just seeing what the other wrestlers' tendencies are and what to look for. So that's really cool. I don't know if I told you this, but something that I was telling people in the newsroom is Serenity was the first Lord Botetourt girls wrestler to win a VHSL sanctioned tournament.
Wow.
I know. Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
So you're cemented in the history books.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you know that when it happened?
I think I kind of knew of it because I knew my goal was to get first in an event, and I think I had been told before that no girl from Lord Botetourt had done that. So I knew, but I think at the moment when I did win, I kind of just forgot about that. It was like, oh my gosh, I won this event, and this was my first VHSL event to win, as it's obvious. And so I think that just excited me overall. And then my coach told me, and then it got put on, I think, the Fincastle Herald also. And I was just like, I think that's when it became more like, oh my gosh, I'm actually the first girl to do this. So.
Yeah. How cool is that? How did your coach kind of react in that moment, or your teammates when you had made this history and set that precedent for women?
Yeah. I mean, my coach, I think he was excited. My dad is also an assistant coach, so he was there. He was in my corner. And like everyone was just so excited. I think because I've been working for all this work and for this whole time I've been working so much. And like the couple tournaments beforehand, I had gotten second for like 2 tournaments in a row. And I think seeing like getting second and second, I was starting to become unhappy with it. And then finally getting this first place, I was just ecstatic, and my family was ecstatic. And then I had 2 other teammates, and they're so nice, and they were so happy for me. And when I was up on that podium, one of the girls was just smiling at me and like, I'm like, oh yeah, you got this. Like, you did so well.
Aww.
And even girls from other teams from Heritage High School, we get to talk to them, and we've seen them at a couple tournaments, and they're so nice. And like, they came up to me and were like, oh my gosh, you did so well. I'm so proud of you, and gave me hugs. Like, it was just so great. Like, from other schools and then even from our school, and just seeing like the joy.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
You talked about earlier the inspiration perhaps for girls to do wrestling is a little bit different from the guys. For you personally, what was your inspiration to want to even, take to the mats?
I think it was more about, I was a lot more angry person before I started, and I didn't have a way to get out that aggression. And then, so I think the main thing was I got to like beat up people and not get in trouble. Right?
Right?
A little sense of therapy.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't seem like the mean type right now at all. But
Yeah.
I'm sure it's different once the singlet comes on and everything happens on the mats. Now, again, I won't test you, but I'm just saying it looks like it's definitely paying off for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just screamed at my mom constantly at 15, 16. That was my aggression. God, I mean, that's what high school girls do. At least she's got an outlet for it.
I mean, I think even now I'd probably still do that even with the wrestling.
Oh, no.
It's just, what do they call it? A canon event. That's just
Yeah.
like a part of life. You and your mom arguing as teenagers,
Yeah.
but at least then you can go to practice and be like,
That's the great thing. If I have a bad day at school and I'm just so mad about it, I can just go to
Yeah.
practice, and it kind of just leaves your mind, and you're just getting all this like built up resentment and all these emotions out through it.
For sure. States is right around the corner, correct?
Yes.
Literally, is it this coming weekend or next weekend?
It's February 26th and 27th, so it's right in the middle of the
Yeah,
week.
you also have they got a
okay.
couple weeks.
So
It's
like
like
2 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Okay. So regions is behind you. You have no other tournaments between now and then, right?
No.
Okay. You got first in regions in your weight class. So, I mean, how ready are you for states? What did the next 2 weeks look like for you?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm a little nervous, but I think everyone is a little bit nervous going into states. right now I'm just working a lot on my conditioning and going over some techniques, and then looking at some opponents I think I could potentially go against, and like just looking, like I said, looking to see if I can find anything to help me wrestle them and help me go against them. Like, if they're hitting slide bys, or if they have a specific move, just watching that and like maybe working on counterattacks against that.
From last year when you competed to this year, what do you think has been your biggest growth point?
I think my strength, but also my technique. I've last year I don't even think I would have, if we had a regionals, I wouldn't have even qualified for states. I don't think I would have, especially with the way my bracket looked this year. I think it's just a lot more technique based, of getting more comfortable in certain positions I wasn't comfortable with, getting stronger, lifting more, doing a lot more work in the off season. And I think I had prioritized certain skills I knew I wasn't as good as like taking shots in my bottom work. And I've really noticed that this season, like, improve a lot of like becoming better at bottom and getting more comfortable in those shots in neutral, and just becoming more comfortable in like other positions besides top.
Yeah.
I would imagine one of your goals immediately is to obviously go and win states, right? At the end of this thing, whenever that end is, what do you hope to get out of, wrestling as a whole, in terms of your legacy and what you want to be known for?
I'm not sure. I just want to get out some accomplishments. I'm so proud of myself getting this far, and I think it's really helped me change as a person. I kind of want to be known as that girl, like, okay, she wrestled, but I also don't want that to be like everything I'm known for. Like, how I think, especially as I'm getting more into my faith, also being known for that, and being known as more someone who also tries to focus on their faith along with wrestling, where the faith and academics become before wrestling. Because I'd also like to be known as like keeping my grades up, being not well versed just athletically but also academically, and just so like I could succeed in sports but also in my classes.
Yeah, well-rounded. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you think you want to wrestle in college? Is that something you'd like to do?
That is a hope right now. I think I've been to one college camp at Randolph, and I really liked that, and I really enjoyed that. But I haven't really gotten I haven't got any offers yet from colleges, but I'm hoping maybe after this season I will.
Yeah.
Going into my senior year. I've gone to a couple colleges over the summer, like Southern Virginia University, Randolph, and then Liberty University. They have a girls' club, and like I've gone to those places and I've looked around and I've liked the colleges, and just to get more of a feel for their wrestling, because yes, wrestling's fun, but it's like, especially when you're with people for 4 years, like you want to make sure you're going to get along with the team, you're going to get along with these coaches and stuff like that. Because if you're choosing to wrestle at a college, there's no quitting.
Yep.
Because a lot of these times wrestling for colleges, you're getting some financial help if it's academically for D3, or for athletically like D1, where you get more money for athletics than compared to, I think, academics.
What do you think it will take for the sport to grow? Kind of like you said, at Liberty, it's a club. Like, there's not a ton of D1 colleges that have a varsity team, and even locally in Virginia, not a lot of high schools have girls teams, but they're growing. What do you think it will take for this sport to blow up?
I think it's just having more opportunities for girls to wrestle, because I know a lot of girls, especially if you're going right into the wrestling room with all guys, it's a lot more nerve-wracking, and it's kind of deters girls who are interested in it. I think just having some more female-only spaces opened up will really help. And then just other girls who are already in the sport inviting these girls and being welcoming and helping them, and also pushing them past what they think their limits are. Because when you get into it at first, it's hard, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, with the conditioning and then just the high intensity of it. But like, if you have somebody pushing you and be like, come on, you've got this, like, come on, like, it's only once, or not only once, you do it all the time, but like, it's like, this is going to help you succeed in the long term.
Yeah. And finally, unless you have anything else,
no, please.
I was just going to ask, for people who want to come out and support women's wrestling and support Lord Botetourt girls, what would you say to kind of, keep their interest, and what advice would you give people who want to come learn about the sport?
We've definitely got great coaching staff who will welcome you, and we've got great teammates who will welcome girls in. Right now, I think we're working on getting us to more girls tournaments. We were able to do, I think, 3 this year. One was only an hour away, I think, at most. The other ones were a couple hours away, and those are a little bit harder to do just because of the money perspective of it. Are we kind of like, because to spend the night at places, which is not what we're doing right now, but I think it would be better if we did it, because a lot of the girls do wrestle better on more sleep, I think, compared to guys. Girls rely more on sleep.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And so I think right now we're just kind of working on, I think, the money situation of that. And I know Lord Botetourt's got a Venmo, and then you can come and you can write a check, and both of those are the Takedown Club, which that would really help girls wrestling and guys wrestling, as well as I think it'd be better to get our coaches stated, like at some of these tournaments that we've gone to, like the Godwin one, they had a JV tournament, and the coach had brought up that this might be a good tournament to take the guys to, but it's such a far distance,
right,
that the money that would
You're okay.
the money needed for it isn't there.
Yeah.
So like donations and stuff like that would really help also grow the team, because I think that'll create more coaching and help get girls coaches out there, coaches to primarily focus on girls, to help focus on certain things that girls need to learn compared to guys, and like help with those strengths as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Sounds
And
great to me.
tell us where States is, how people can tune in. I mean, can you tune in? Does Flow cover that, or NFHS maybe?
I think there may be a live stream for the girls as well.
Well, tell me
I'm not
where
exactly
it is
sure.
and what class you're wrestling, all the details so that people can follow your journey.
I'm wrestling in the 145 weight class. I think it's in Richmond, Virginia. I'm not sure on the exact spot right now. I think you can track it on Track Wrestling, and I think maybe Flow might have it as well. I'm not sure. Those are the 2 places I know could potentially have it. And I think Team Botetourt Wrestling will be posting on how their girl, how James River girl Janaya is doing, and then also might post on me. I think they had done that last year, since I do wrestle at their club. And I think also on the Lord Botetourt Wrestling, I think it's Facebook or Twitter. I think they've talked about it in the past years as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. We'll definitely be watching out for that in the coming weeks.
We will.
Right.
Serenity,
Indeed.
you're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're so happy you're here, and good luck at States.
Thank you.
So again, special thanks to Serenity for sharing her time with us. Again, just an awesome speaker, awesome person on the mats, and as we could tell, awesome in everything she does outside of wrestling as well.
So nice. I know. I loved how she said that she loves being a wrestler, but that's not how she really wants to be known. She wants to be known for her faith and her academics, and like that is just such a mature thought process that you don't hear from a lot of kids, especially ones who are really good at their sport.
Yeah, and one that like reclassified like she did too. Like that means she's even
Genius.
even younger than she
so
actually is.
Smart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
smart. Good for her.
Yeah, and again, I didn't know whether like you asked that question for girls in wrestling, like what weight
about the
class
weight
are you?
class?
Yeah, because as
Yeah.
I mentioned, you know, yes, gentlemen, we don't.
I know
do
that
that
was
Come
nice
on.
of you to tread with
Come
caution.
on. Yeah, well, all the time, right?
Yeah.
But no, like that was pretty cool. Like to hear her and the range in which like the others that she wrestles. I'm like, wow, okay, she's not standing in a little pocket here. She
No,
mentioned
when she
like,
said that she'll wrestle guys on her team at like 195,
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
wow.
crazy.
wow.
That's crazy. But I guess it does make you better. I mean,
Of course, yeah, iron sharpens iron at
Yeah.
that point. But yeah, shout out to her. Kudos to her for even thinking of trying that and then actually going out there doing it too.
yeah, she's a boss. I don't think I could. I mean, I know I couldn't. I know I couldn't. Wrestling is so hard.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is. It is unlike any sport.
Yeah, the technique, the form, and everything. And then what rattles my mind though is just how quickly, seemingly how quickly, you're out there and you're out of there.
Yeah, it's like
But-
7 minutes.
Yeah, but I guess like you do need to like that's a lot of mat time. Like I always hear coaches say, "No, we're out there for quite a while," and I'm like, "Really?" But then when we're recording it, of course, we're like, "Okay, all right, it'll be over in a couple seconds. But if you actually had to be
Well,
in
and I was gonna say,
competition-
think of how long 7 minutes feels when we're like doing a live shot. You know, like it's an eternity.
Yeah.
So now you're turning weight for it's like being on the Stairmaster. Like you feel like you've been on the Stairmaster for hours, and then you look down, it's been 30 seconds, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, no. Then you got to start playing mind games and tricking yourself. Oh no, just keep going and keep going. No,
Yeah.
But, she's great at what she does, though. I really hope she comes home with some more hardware.
I know. I hope so, and I hope that we get videos of it, or like somehow can.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to go to Richmond? Like I'll drive up there,
Going
stay
up
the
there.
night.
Well, I don't know about that part, but,
hotel. Dinner.
probably a day trip.
Yeah. A date trip.
A day trip, as in like a. As in like a 3 hour 3 hour drive back,
No, you know my rule.
Oh, yeah.
If it's over 3, it's not for me.
That's not good.
In a day, at least. I'm a liability. Dude, I've already cost this station hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I bet I've cost the station more.
I had a knee surgery on the dime.
Ooh, they dropped a brand new engine in the car, and then I totaled the car like 2 weeks later. Like the entire car.
You know what? You might be right. Collective, the engines that we've blown out in our cars.
Well, wait.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that one.
I only did one engine. All right, so you see, there's no collective now. Like you can't.
The engine in the sports car too.
Yeah, I don't know if I can.
We
claim
both
that
drove that car. Anyways, beside the point. I'm a liability, which is why I don't need to be driving more than 6 hours in a day. Or honestly, more than 4. 4 is about where I'll cap it.
I just thought it was a whole dark thing. I didn't realize.
Also at night. Well, that's part of the liability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't see for any. I mean, I can't. I have zero depth of field, none.
Yeah.
I look down, if I'm making a left turn or shooting a gap or something, and I look to see how far a car away is, how far away a car is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell.
That's not
Anyways.
good. That's not good.
So if anyone's going to that wrestling tournament, my email is bleonard@wsls.com. Send me the files.
Or
because it
on
doesn't sound like
Twitter.
Eric is letting me go and stay the night, which is fine. Is that blinking because it's dying?
We can discuss. I think it's blinking because it's recording.
Okay, period. Anyways.
Yes. Again, shout out to all the local wrestlers, in particular our young ladies out there. We have not forgotten about you. You are in the spotlight, and for a good reason.
Yeah. No, they're awesome. That's great. I'm excited to watch the sport grow. Hopefully this helps cast a little bit of light on it too, and that people are encouraged, because Serenity gave some good words of wisdom on if you want to try. So
yeah. And I think what's interesting too is from the time you found that TikTok to the time we got the story out, like the number of millions of views just like skyrocketed.
Oh yeah,
it was just like insane.
No, it was crazy.
How many views has this got now? Like, wait, what? And I always think back, little old Roanoke, you know.
Like I said, I could not believe when I saw that TikTok and her singlet said Cave Spring.
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta be kidding. It came up on my For You page. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I sent it to you.
Yeah, you
and I was like, look at her singlet.
Yep, and I had to watch it in browser because I don't have TikTok. So
you deleted TikTok?
I didn't delete it.
You never had it?
I had it, but then when they took it down and came back, mine didn't come back for some reason. So I'm just
whoa.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
I kept it and I love it. I'm so glad that it's not gone. I was saying to somebody the other day, what data are you stealing? Like what? Here's my For You page: gym, recipe, sport.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
There's nothing that so every once in a while some Bachelor drama or like whatever reality TV show drama.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty boring. I'm like every other 28-year-old girl.
I don't think that's boring. I mean, that's a pretty good diverse mix of things going on. Like, yeah.
There's just like nothing juicy that China can really like hold on to from there, you know?
I mean, if you say so, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love TikTok. I'm a fan. You know, every once in a while I'll post a TikTok of us sitting here gabbing.
And I don't even know about it, but
I'll show you.
Yeah, but it's like after a couple of
other people have watched it. No, nobody said you're weird. Except remember the other day when who was it? Allison had told me that I had to accept comments.
That's right, and you had no idea.
And I had no idea, and people had been commenting on my videos all this time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, and
oh boy,
I got one that was really complimentary of me.
Nice. I like how you differentiated your tone of voice there.
Yeah, let me find it. Oh, here it is.
Of me.
Spike Zumbro said, "Best reporter on TV."
Wow.
Thank you, Spike. This one had 60 likes, which is kind of all my NASCAR stuff does well. Like when I post a NASCAR stand up.
NASCAR. We are in NASCAR country.
Yeah, people love NASCAR
So
here.
Spike. Okay.
Period.
Do you know who Spike is?
No. You know Spike?
I have a burner. No, I'm just kidding.
My burner username is Spike Zumbro.
Oh, Spike Zumbro.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
It's like Kevin Durant's burner Twitter that they joke about on X.
I don't even think he needs a burner now. He just goes straight to his
I mean,
real
at this
one.
point in his career, he can say whatever he wants, right?
He just goes straight to his real one. I'm like, you do know that you are tweeting, right? Or whatever they call it now. Just weird.
We have a lot of people who pop up on our Twitter who were like, take the phone. Take the phone.
Yeah, I ran into some things on there I don't want to find sometimes.
Yeah, somebody give this phone because this cannot be real life. It's public. Everyone can see what you're tweeting.
Yeah. Luckily, we can't see likes anymore.
Dude.
I digress.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, speaking of tweeting, did I tell you this? This is so like upsetting and maddening.
Uh-oh.
Maddening.
Oh,
So-
you can't see who retweets
No, this
you?
has something to do with something stupid I said and did. So I've been sitting on this stat for quite a bit of time, just waiting for the right time to tweet it. So
Okay.
Sunday, I tweet it.
Yeah.
Hokies Megan Duffy has never had a losing season as a head coach. That tradition will continue in her first year with Hokies women's basketball. At 16-8, with 5 games to go and a guaranteed 1 at the ACC tourney, she and the Hokies will finish with a winning season.
You thought you said winning, right? Is that what it was?
I thought I said winning. I was showing
Yeah.
somebody how this tweet went like semi-viral. Viral in our circle,
Sure.
of Hokie fans.
Sure.
And it's our friend Allison, and she goes, "We'll finish with a whining season." I put whining. Whining.
Yeah.
Not winning.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. But see, the love that you get on those social media platforms, you love it because nobody necessarily corrects it. They automatically know what you mean. For the most
it
part.
is nice.
For the
Except
most
I had
part.
multiple people send me that tweet and be like, "Great tweet," like in the DMs. They're like, "Great stat, great tweet,
Yeah.
good find." And then I had to double down and quote tweet it because I don't pay for whatever it is.
Oh, to edit.
X Superior, where you can edit your tweets. I don't have $25 a month.
Premium,
Elon,
premium
sorry.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, give it to journalists for free.
Superior.
Anyways, I then had to quote tweet it and write, "I can't believe this says whining. I meant winning."
And so how many people reacted to that?
19 people and 2
Hey.
people retweeted it.
Well, I guess they are sticklers then. Never mind.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Why does we need new podcasting equipment. Please listen to this podcast so we can get new equipment. Please.
I haven't had any
It's
issues
like
here.
falling every time I talk. It's like slowly falling down.
It does have a little mean lean to it there. I see it from the side there. I'm sorry.
And I feel so sick from that Chick-fil-A I ate.
Let's get you out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a swell episode.
Is there anything else you want to say?
What do you want me to say?
I was just saying I've done a lot of talking.
No, I feel like I've done my fair amount, my usual amount. That's how we keep the listeners and the viewers. Come on.
Because they're trying to figure out what chaotic thing I'm going to say next.
No, I wouldn't say that, but they just come for Brooke Leonard. They'll come for little old Eric Johnson. Come on.
Oh,
What? Little turtle here.
what?
What? No. I think we did a great job with the interview. So great find. Excelente.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're
All
doing your thing.
Shout out Serenity. Shout out all our ladies. Lady. That's outdated, right? We shouldn't say ladies anymore. I say ladies all the time.
It's always ladies'
I'm like,
night.
ladies.
Right?
I don't know. Apparently, ladies is like kind of an outdated terminology.
Oh, okay.
Which is why a lot of mascots are no longer like Lady XYZ.
Lady Balls or Lady
Yeah,
this.
it's just
Okay.
like say it. Anyways, all of our
Gotcha.
women and girls in wrestling in the coming weeks and in all of our sports and the boys too. We do love the boys and the men, but
Yeah.
That's a given.
They get the attention already, so we want to make
we're
sure
gonna lift up the women and girls so that we're all having equal attention, equal viewership here on Channel 10.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, maybe with. I don't even know why I try to push ahead because I have no idea.
We keep it a secret.
We do keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And we don't collect questions anymore. So.
Yeah, we're in control of this now.
We are, yeah.
You lost your privileges.
You lost your privileges because nobody was submitting questions to us. It was like pulling teeth trying to get the internet to invest.
Well, we had a couple. We had a little small pool. But, once you outgrow the kiddie pool, you can't get in there anymore.
Period. I know that's right. Once you outgrow the kiddie pool, you cannot get in there anymore unless you were trying to sunbathe in the backyard. You know what I mean?
I don't have that issue. So. Sorry.
Right on. All right, let's end this. Goodbye.